Oh my god, that's
This
fucking
is
stupid.
banned in the USA.
Yeah.
Hey, that was before the record. Let's just
You
move
remember
on.
how in the Wolf of Wall Street movie, Jordan Belfort would train all those guys to make a bunch of money with him dialing the phone? Well, think back, who were those guys? Were they sophisticated, educated, smart Harvard grads? No, they were actual mindless degenerates that Jordan Belfort found off the streets. Mindless degenerates who were willing to just follow a script.
Good, pick up the phone and start dialing.
And here's the thing, is that this movie was not an exaggeration. In fact, this is how it usually is in real life. Just take a listen to what the former president of the real Wolf of Wall Street had to say about it.
But when I was working for Jordan, the cool thing is that we got a chance to fly around the country all throughout the year. We went from company to company and industry to industry. We got to really see, who are these top performers, who are these people making millions of dollars, whether they're the business owners themselves or they're the salespeople or any other individuals who really make a lot of money. And the crazy thing that I found is that all of the wealthiest people were the most mindless people. And the trick though is that they were mindless in the right way.
And part of it is cool, anyone really can get rich. But I bet that a part of you was really annoyed by these types. And you should be annoyed. They're not smart, they're not educated, I'm clearly smarter than them. So why are they making so much more money than me? Well, the reason why they make more money than you, the reason why you're not a millionaire, might actually be because you're just too smart. No, seriously, it turns out that the average college GPA of the average American millionaire is just a 2.9 GPA.
Anyone who's not from the United States, 2.9 more or less means that you didn't completely fail out of school, but you were very close to it.
Which means that most of the rich people out there, they're not geniuses, they're not intellectuals. They're actually just incredibly average on the intellectual.
But they basically calling these guys rich dummies. Which one would you guys rather be? Would you rather be one of the most educated people in America, or would you rather be one of the richest people in America?
Richest. Mainly
I would
because
say at this point, I choose richness.
I don't even think I had a 2.9, to be honest. I think I had like a 1.4.
It's gonna sound like cap, but I value information so much.
I believe that when it comes.
If I had to lose all of the things I know, but I could be rich, I would not be able to let that go.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I would say it sounds good. I love the education, but the only thing, my only, I guess, caveat was am I educated enough to keep, or dumb enough where I can keep all the rich money, keep the rich.
No,
I don't want to be rich.
No, you got the same amount of education you have now. Who you are now. You're not dumber or anything like that. You just take $2 billion now, or we're gonna let you know everything that ever went on Earth, and here's all the vast knowledge.
That's easy.
Well,
definitely knowledge. Definitely knowledge.
Yeah, that's
well, but you could never capitalize on it financially.
Nah.
So you could know everything, but you couldn't use it for money.
Give me that. Give me those.
You gotta balance the scales there. You gotta balance the scales.
Give me the bands. Give me the bands. We're pushing P. We're pushing positivity.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Pushing positivity.
That's hilarious. No, I gotta go knowledge, even if it couldn't bring me money. I gotta go knowledge.
Okay.
I would say, well, what Kelvin said first, if I keep the knowledge I have, I'm gonna choose the money.
Yeah, I'm gonna let. I like where Curtis was going, where you can't make money off of the knowledge, but I'll say that you can keep the knowledge that you have with the money.
So what does it mean? So you can't learn anything else? You're stuck.
No, you can learn other things, but it'll be at your capacity.
Oh shit, money.
Yeah, it'll still be at your capacity. You basically still you, but you got $2 billion.
I'll be me with extra money, or I could be a super smart version of me, but no extra money.
Exactly.
But
super
you can't,
smart.
And you can't
super
use
smart
it
version
to get rich.
Nah, super smart version for sure.
And you can't use it to get rich.
I know. That was my caveat. I'm with it.
If that really was an option, that wouldn't be bad for him to choose that, seeing that he probably could just lean on us three as billionaires.
Well, not even. That was one of the things I thought about. I was like, hey, I got rich friends. But the other thing was, if I knew that much, I could build my life where I didn't need a lot of money. I could build a life where I had everything I wanted, literally unlimited access to everything I wanted without the money.
The crazy part is you probably have a better chance of finding true happiness than we would.
No, smart
I
people.
was
Smart people are miserable.
Careless was happy with learning everything, and we'd all be friends. So I'd be like, Careless, what's your idea on this? And then I use it and make the money.
Yeah, man.
So you will be Thomas Edison and he'll be Nikolai Tesla.
Oh, fuck that. He was in love with a pigeon. Like, let's not go crazy here.
All right, let me play some more of this shit.
Scale. While the people who did go to a good school, who did get a fancy degree, who pride themselves in their education, 9 times out of 10, they always hit a plateau.
That's definitely something that I've seen in real life. It's very rare to find someone who did really well in school actually make millions and millions of dollars consistently each year. Usually the people who did well in school tend to be stuck making 6 figures the rest of their life. I was super academically tracked my whole life, and I graduated from UCLA around the age of 19 with a degree in math. After going through that, I even went to law school and I got into other, Ivy League master's programs in science and technology. But I went through all of this just to realize that this is all kind of a big scam and a big lie.
This is Arvid Ali, by the way. On top of being the former president of the Real Wolf of Wall Street's companies, Jordan Belfort, he's also the advisor that celebrities, millionaires, and the ultra wealthy go to when they want to grow their net worth. He spent a ton of time with the people who actually made it into the 1%, so he knows what they're actually like behind closed doors. He's got his own YouTube channel that we'll link below. You should definitely subscribe if you like what he says in this video, and I wanted to ask him why. Why is it that quote-unquote dumb people end up making more money than quote-unquote smart people? And we're gonna expose it all in this video.
Dumb people, yeah.
Let's get something out of the way first that I know a lot
of the video.
You said what?
I like the premise of the video. That was a clever idea to be like, why are dumb people rich and you're not if you're smart? That's clever. That's all.
Yeah.
You were thinking. But Jake, what about the tech bill?
What you got to say, Mr. Fi?
If I'm dumb but rich, does that mean I still get Margaret Robbie?
What the fuck is that?
The chick from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we getting the money.
Oh.
And she attracted a lot
Man.
of attractive money,
Because if that's the case, I'm dumping loads.
Women are trying to wealth and materials, so it might not be Margot Robbie specifically, but someone like Margot Robbie.
The equivalent.
You're gonna be having freak offs.
I'm in.
In a whack off chair.
Billionaires and the finance billionaires out there. They're not dumb, they're geniuses. I can never be as smart as them. Well, in actuality, most of the billionaires you see are not geniuses. They're just really great at playing the character of a genius.
What you'll always find is it's only the tech billionaires and the finance billionaires that aggressively try to portray themselves as geniuses. Nobody else really does.
Why would they go through such lengths to pretend to be a genius? Simple. It's because their entire business model relies on convincing you to invest your money with them, to invest in their startup, to invest in their investment fund. And the only way they're gonna get people to invest is if the masses believe that they're a genius. After all, I am a genius, so your money is much better off in my hands than yours. The perfect example of this is Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos. Before she was exposed, everyone thought she was a genius. But when it all came crashing down, everyone realized that she was no genius. No, she was just obsessed with looking like a genius. She was copying all the quirks of Steve Jobs, all in an effort to get people to invest into Theranos. It was the same story with Sam Bankman-Fried. Everyone thought he was this eccentric genius, but as it turns out, he was also a complete dum-dum. Same thing with the WeWork guy. Same thing with the WeWork guy's lead investor, Masayoshi Son. And the same thing with so many other geniuses of yesteryear. And yet for some reason, we still want to believe in these types.
It's not like a situation where you find, people sitting in some room, planning and strategizing and being some genius. No one's sitting there trying to be some genius, and it never works out. And it's nice, especially I think for guys, we want to fantasize that we can just sit there and be a genius and make a lot of money. But the real world does not reward that in any way. It just rewards the person who actually cares to be of value to more people.
So the next time you see some billionaire trying to market themselves as this all-seeing genius, you and I will know that it's all a charade. But that still begs the question, why are most wealthy people quote-unquote dumb then? Barbara Corcoran was called the dumb kid all through high school. She was a straight D student who couldn't read or write thanks to her dyslexia. At 23 years old, she borrowed $1,000 from her boyfriend to start a real estate business. And today, she's worth more than $100 million. Mark Cuban only got through his college technology course because he cheated on his exams. And instead of going to some Ivy League business school, he picked Indiana University without ever seeing the campus, just because it was the cheapest option available. After college, he was fired or quit 3 straight jobs before finding something he was good at. Ironically, it turned out to be tech, the same subject he had to cheat in order to pass. And today, Mark Cuban is worth more than $6 billion. Barbara and Mark are 2 of the most well-known investors on Shark Tank. And if you look at the other sharks' backgrounds, you will find the same story. Almost all of them were average or pretty bad in school. And of those that actually made it to college, most ended up in some average school and they majored in something completely unrelated to business. As kids, society branded them as failures. They were the ones that were all called dumb at some point in their lives. And yet these people with their 2.9 GPAs make up the vast majority of the ultra-wealthy. Why?
If you look at the people who can keep building and growing their business for the long term, not just for some, 3-month stint where they thought of something crazy and, it might work out initially, people who really build a business for the long term are simply the people who allow themselves to turn off their brains and, most importantly, turn off their ego and let their pride, step to the side for a second, and are willing to do the unsexy process of knocking on doors, of the unsexy process of making phone calls, doing cold emails, being of genuine service to people, and not trying to figure out a scheme. It's really about like how many people can you actually be of service to. And even if, like, for example, if you have a restaurant, you can get really busy with one restaurant and have some number of customers, but the person who makes a lot of money is just the guy or girl who decides to keep opening up more restaurants and goes through that process of improving herself or improving himself to actually be able to keep servicing more and more customers. And that's this really, really simple answer to it, is it does not require some genius plan and some genius sort of scheme.
For example, let's say you were one of these kids that society branded as dumb, and you decide to start your own business. You create your products, and now you have to go knocking door to door to try to sell it. And right from the start, you get a lot of negative reactions. People ignoring you, slamming the door in your face, that kind of thing. But since you're mindless in the right way, since you don't have an ego and are like, I'm too smart for this, you just keep knocking, you just keep picking up the phone. Maybe it takes 100 or even 200 doors, maybe it takes 100 or even 200 phone calls, but just by the sheer law of numbers, eventually someone is gonna buy. And once you get that first sale, then you just keep mindlessly repeating that and improving it, and then that one sale turns into 2, then 100, then 10,000. Since you had no ego, you probably asked for help and found the right teacher along the way, and with that right teacher, you just kept mindlessly listening to them. You didn't try to reinvent the wheel. So those 10,000 sales eventually turned into 1,000,000 sales, and then boom. One day you wake up and you find yourself among the 1% of society. Not because you were smart, but because you were mindless in the right way.
What do you guys think about this shit so far?
I was gonna ask you fellas a question about it.
Okay.
Do y'all think, I mean, what they're saying could be true, but you ever think that the people who aren't smart maybe just have a little bit more hustle, and they're more of like a people person to reach out to these other people that help them through it, because, I mean, that's because of who they are. I mean, I guess the really, really smart people I knew growing up, as much as they were smart, and I'll give it to them, the one thing they lacked is they were always socially awkward with other people. Whereas it's all about who you know. So if you can become a people person and have that hustle and drive, depending on, it doesn't matter at that point how smart you are.
Yeah, you can't get charisma at a school.
It's all about who you know. And
There is a school called Charisma University.
Yeah, but
No.
I'm the professor at that school.
No, you're not lying.
No, but yeah, Mr. Fife, like I said earlier, if you want to make dollars, you can't have any sense. So I already knew this. Like, I mean, I got people like this in my family. I have legitimate geniuses in my family, and I've had to loan them money. So
I kind of see what Fife's saying, though. It's like, I see it from a different angle, but very similar. Like, I think really smart people, they learn really, like, first, if you're not surrounded by other smart people, they learn to be self-sufficient because they already know more than the people around them. They can't rely on the people around them. They can't really identify with them. So they can't, like, they don't develop social skills because they're on the outside. Whereas the quote unquote dumb person or average person, because a 2.9 is almost a B. Like a 2.9 GPA is almost a B. That's not dumb. But if we're going with that, whatever. The dumb person, they need the group in order to succeed in anything, right? like say you were like barely making it through school, or you were dyslexic, or you had ADHD and making it through was really hard. The way you probably get through is leaning on the people around you, so you develop really strong social skills
Mm-hmm.
to compensate for the lack of intelligence. And then when you get into the real world, those social skills are infinitely more valuable than the person who knows that one little
Well, it takes
fear.
people to make money, though, right?
Well, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well,
Right.
I think a smart person can learn salesmanship,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be really hard to be, what's the word? Like if you grew up isolated, it's going to be hard to be extroverted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, you're not used to the rejection. Where like a dumb person probably faced rejection their entire life from one reason or another, blah, 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 blah. All the different social interactions they hit, they learn to become numb to it, where the smart person doesn't. So because they're not numb to the rejection, enough rejection, they just quit. Whereas the quote unquote dumb person is numb to it. So they have more grit, kind of like what Fife was saying. They just keep going.
Sabius?
Y'all pretty much said what I was saying. I was just like, you know, it's not what is it's not what you know, it's who you know. Kind of like what Fife was saying, you know, socially awkward people who tend to be on a scale of more smarter people tend to be, except more socially awkward. So it's the people person, the ones that go out and make those what they call networking, that usually the ones that wind up, you know, getting the money. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're dumb though. I guess my own thing. Like
That's a
I
little
would
bit harsh
say,
for you.
yeah, I mean, if they were smart enough to uh network and get with people, does that make them dumb? It's kind of like you put yourself in an environment that you want to become. It's like Carrie said earlier, I think, like, you know, you surround yourself with the people. So if you want to be like, I don't know, if you want to be a politician, you surround yourself with politicians and you get in the bracket of politicians. So it's kind of like the same thing. If you want to make money, you surround yourself with people who can potentially make money and
Right.
you get money. So I wouldn't necessarily call that dumb though. But
I think they talking about academically, though.
eh,
I actually think that's one of the failures of the American school system. Like,
Yeah.
we pretty much, it's pretty established that there's different types of intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
but we still only focus on basic retention of knowledge, and that's it. Like, if you can encounter this information and then regurgitate it, then you are intelligent. And it's like, my phone can do that infinitely faster than any person ever could. Why don't we start looking at other things? like when are we going to do this?
Yeah.
then I'm reminded about certain things. Like we had that pod a while ago with like the girl that was the NPCAI that was just like bang 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 bang.
Right.
Well, I was just like, I should have did that shit. We should have did that shit.
I mean,
that would have never crossed my fucking mind. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
That is not an idea I ever would have had.
Yeah. But I mean, granted, you know, she's not like a top millionaire or nothing, but still, I'm just saying, she made a lot of money.
That bitch was making
wealthy.
$7,000 a day.
Yeah, she is wealthy off of
Not bad.
Whatever that is.
Hell yeah.
I'm not hating. Like, if you find a niche and you come up with a clever idea and you make it big off that shit, if you're not pouring or showing your ass, like if you come up with something actually clever, I'm all for it. I'll say do it, make your money, like make your bag.
Man, I would rather be the greatest used car salesman than a genius.
I mean, well, you be making money.
There is more common folk in this world than there is geniuses. Now, I feel like if you're a genius to a certain point, you only relate to other geniuses who will listen to you. But if you can speak to the common man or woman, I guess, I feel like you can make one hell of a living because they're the ones that are most likely to buy into your bullshit.
Well, now we getting off into me and your music thing that me and Mr. Fife gonna do pretty soon, the music channel. But that's one of my beliefs of why music is shit nowadays, because at first you got people like Nas and Tupac and people like them making music, and you would damn near have to be like, you have to have some like be on some form of intellectual spectrum to even understand what these dudes saying. And you know, like I always say, if you write a book for geniuses, how many of those books are you gonna sell? Now, if you write a book for idiots and dummies, you sell millions of those books, and they literally have books for dummies. You know what I'm saying? That sell millions of books. No, like how many people gonna buy a genius level book?
I think that's my biggest problem with the idea of the genius. I think being a genius, and I'm not one. I'm nowhere near. But I think being a genius is I think it's almost like a disability, because most people, they're like,
literally, it's called being a savant.
Yeah, their intellectual capacity is, I think there's only so much bandwidth you get.
Yeah.
So if you have all of your eggs in one basket, you fall off on all other areas.
You literally just described the savant, which is what Einstein was, which is why that's the reason why Einstein didn't know how to tie his shoes.
Yeah, it's like you can't be amazing at everything, but you can be good at everything.
Yeah,
you can be good at everything. You can be above average at everything.
Being a savant is on
amazing.
the fucking spectrum. It's like
Yeah,
autism. I think the writer for Kiss is a savant. They say R. Kelly is one. I just happen to think he's another R word. Well, I can think of two R words, but
I'm not swinging the R. Kelly thing, but okay. Everybody got their opinion.
Can't R. Kelly not read?
Yeah, but just because you're a savant, being a savant is like the Rain Man. You know, they just focus on one thing. Like it's one savant. He can skim through a book. He can read a book and remember what's on each page.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying R. Kelly.
Yeah, they say he's a savant. He's a musical genius.
R. Kelly.
Kanye West is another one. They said he's a
no. He's saying he got autism, and I don't want to talk about it right now because I don't want to get upset.
This is a sore subject. I'm not in a space where I can have.
I am not in the fucking headspace.
People like R. Kelly and like Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather,
but I don't give a fuck really.
Mm-hmm.
They're good at what they do, but
nobody's calling Mayweather a genius. By the
way, they're definitely on spectrum.
I've never heard Mayweather being called.
I've heard he could read.
Do you remember the old 50 Cent things?
Yes, I do.
If you can read one chapter of a Harry Potter book,
he was gonna donate.
But yeah, no, like they're good at what they do and really excel really well at the things they do. They're definitely on spectrum for sure.
He's a good example of, because he's a billionaire. He's a good example of, you know, what you want to be. You want to be a motherfucker who can't read, or you want to be a bit. Would you guys trade knowing how to read for being a billionaire?
Yep.
Like there's like somebody some wizard snaps their finger and you can no longer read.
Probably yes, because like we got audiobooks now.
That's true.
So I can still ingest the same amount of information. I barely read much.
I was about to say no right until you said that.
I listen to everything.
I don't know, but I read a lot of subtitles and shit. Even if I say I'm not reading, you're reading something. You're reading a headline on the news, or you're reading something.
I mean, I've read all the books in Skyrim, so.
We're gonna
start. That's $1 billion though. Shit. You gotta read the. No, go ahead now.
Compare this to someone educated, someone smart in society's traditional sense. Why can't they do this? Let's say you take a straight A student that graduated from a top university, they started business and now it's time for them to go door to door trying to sell it. Well, this guy has probably spent his entire life hearing how smart he is, how people expect great things out of him. And due to his 4 to 8 years of conditioning, education in university, he's been taught that as long as he follows the rules, he will get rewarded. As long as he memorizes the thing and fills in the correct bubble, he will pass. So what do you think is going to happen the moment that he knocks on a door and gets rejected? Do you think he's just going to mindlessly continue? No! I did the thing and it didn't work. When I do the thing I'm taught in school, it always works. So this is a sham, I quit. And so he quits. He quits doing the one thing that would have guaranteed him making a lot of money. And it's not his fault that he's like this, it's the education system's fault.
Yeah, the most important thing is school does not reward you for actually giving value to anybody. You see what I'm saying? So it has no correlation to making money. The only thing that determines how much money you make is how much value you can provide to other people's lives, either through the products you create or through the services you provide. And at what point did you ever do that in school? Everything that you learned in school is nonsense, in my opinion. Like once you get very sort of advanced level with anything related to math or science, you start to quickly realize that everything that was taught was distilled in such a way where it can't possibly even make that much sense for the average person. But it's more so testing your ability to memorize things in a certain way, memorize techniques in a certain way, and show that you are a good sort of worker in the factory, as they say. And that is, as most people know now, like that is what school is designed to do, especially during the Industrial Revolution. It's just simply designed to create good factory workers at the end of the day. So there's nothing about school that in any way correlates to your ability to make money, because again,
Mr. Fife, wasn't that you that said we work 5 days a week because of Henry Ford?
That is true.
Fucking asshole. Fuck you. That's all I wanted to say.
Not actually adding any real value to people. There might be a counter argument to this, which is, school teaches you skills and knowledge so then you can provide value to people. That's almost never the case. Like, even if you go through K through 12, even if you go through undergrad, and even if you go through med school and law school, there's very little that you learn in any of these environments that you actually apply into the real world. And anyone who's in a very, very advanced level lawyer or advanced level doctor, they'll tell you this, privately, is that everything that they learned, even in med school or in law school, it almost never applied to the real world. So it's only through your actual experience and directly help.
How many things have you guys learned in school? Give me 2 things that you learned in school real quick that you apply to the real world other than math.
I was about to say math.
That I apply to the real world.
Yeah, I gave y'all one for free. I took away one and gave y'all one for free.
That I learned in school?
Mm-hmm. I'll let you know if you guys hit on the one for free.
Anything in shop class.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
And definitely American and world history.
Okay.
I disagree with that one.
Did you
I would
apply
think
that in
physics.
real life though? Where did you apply history, world history, and physics to?
There's
what
so
you said?
much. There's so much politics and whatnot in history these days, or what's going on in the world today. If you didn't go through that and learn it at all, can you really function as a citizen day to day?
Yep. They want us to be as dumb as possible.
A lot of people don't even know who their alderman is or mayor, let alone their mayor in their own city. So
Yeah.
Fine. Entry level English.
Okay.
okay, yeah, I give you that image.
I'll say physics because you can't help but to apply it. It applies itself to you.
What about reading?
Reading, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
entry level English.
English.
What about? I want to go back.
I just
to the
wanted to hear- I
physics.
said
How
read
do
'cause
you
I wanted
apply physics.
I said
in real
physics
life?
applies itself to you, so you can't help but to apply it in life. Like basically, you don't.
Bitch,
You
you
don't
don't
fall
get you don't
upwards.
get the cop out like that. How
you
do
don't
you
fall
apply
upwards,
it?
bitch.
That's what I said. How do you apply it?
I was trying to be funny. I'm sorry that the joke.
Ha ha ha. Now how do you apply it?
There was a.
You
there was
don't!
a- It wasn't a funny joke. It was just like your dad joke. So it wasn't funny.
Oh, you lucky I don't have no school-related dad jokes. I'll tell all of them right now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, they still
Curtis
wouldn't be
loves
funny.
to share dad jokes in the group chat. Some
They're
of
not
them
funny.
are horrific, and
Yeah, yeah.
we're gonna
They
go
are
from
great.
we're gonna go from banned to canceled.
Yeah, I can't
I-
tell a lot of them here. I
I
can't.
laughed at all of them he put in the group chat over the weekend.
Of course you did.
Just
The,
like
the Michael
I-
Jackson one was wild. I read that one out loud to somebody without telling them like that I'm reading it off of something and somebody else said it, and the look they gave me when I got to the end, they was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you all right?" I'm like,
You
"I
saw
didn't
what
say
I
that."
happened.
read that. And I was like,
That shit was hilarious.
just what I put in text. Boo, boo.
You saw
I
what
mean-
happened when I played with
Fuck
AI.
this man.
Actually, to be
But
fair,
you know-
I have
you-
to shout out the channel I got it from. I got it from this channel called Yeah Mad. They are hilarious. Go check them out.
You know what's crazy is we probably can say that joke now and get a whole bunch of flack for it. And Dave Chappelle literally told a joke about Michael Jackson sucking his dick as
Yeah,
as an underage kid.
it's a
Crazy.
different world.
Well, we got to be funny. Dave Chappelle is funny. So
Yeah.
as long as you funny, it'll go through.
He's not
I'm
really
like-
Getting
funny.
better at helping people.
Dry
I mean,
humor.
to be fair, we got away with talking about the whack off chair.
That you can actually make a lot of money.
So where do most of these smart people end up? Well, most of the time, they end up chasing respectable positions that will make their parents proud, that will boost their ego, or where they're just a cog in the wheel following orders just like school, things like finance or consulting. Sure,
Speaking of boosting parents' egos, I want to say when Sabius started school, I was very proud of him and all the things that he accomplished as my eldest child.
Is it because
slave away 10 hours a day until I retire. Sure, it will take me decades to climb the corporate ladder, and eventually I'll make more than 6 figures.
Yeah, he made it further than me.
But hey, I'm a consultant for McKinsey. I'm an analyst for Goldman Sachs on Wall Street. All I have to do is run on the treadmill and I'll get a modest carrot, just like school. Count me in. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with this if you're okay making this trade, but the price you pay for this is being stuck at 6 figures until you're old and feeble.
Yeah, and a very obvious way to visualize this is like imagine you were trying to get really fit and you want to start working out. The best thing you could do is definitely go to an actual expert, you know, in the type of fitness that you're into, and have that expert give you all the strategies and the plans and everything that you need to do. But then you just go do it. You know, it doesn't require a bunch of thinking. Like that's how the sort of life works.
Right.
Is you can go to an expert, get the right answers, and then you just do the actual steps that you need to do to mirror, you know, what that expert is
It's
showing
just
that you can
YouTube.
get to in terms of end result. So if you can just find that expert first,
This guy
that's the
has
tricky part for most
cockatiel
people in
hair.
most industries is just finding the right expert that they can
He's a
trust.
Peter Puffer.
And usually most experts that, especially online, that present themselves as experts, they're
Better
not
watch out
in
with
any
that
way a
one.
real expert. What they're really doing is
Hey man, we said the fuck we want to say. Fuck these people. Well, all right, we're not here for the fucking weak stomach. All right, never mind. I apologize for Mr. Fife saying that.
I don't.
giving you information that makes you feel like they're a genius and that you need to trust them because they're some genius, and that more importantly, you need to become a genius yourself in order to make money. So those tend to be most of the people that
Everybody with cockatiel hair like him seem to be doing good in life. Maybe I should grow my hair out. Like
Hey Vino, how many subscribers does he have?
that guy?
This guy right here.
I don't know, but they
Wow.
said he was the vice president of at Jordan Belfort's company, which he looks
Okay.
like a baby his fucking self.
Okay,
I,
'cause
when
I
they
wanted to
first
make
said that, I'm
sure.
like, how old is this nigga? Like what?
I wanted to make sure he was rich because I'm like, how is he telling me how people get rich if he's not rich?
Well, he could.
Oh, if
No.
he's that guy, then he's that guy. But
Even a fucking homeless man can give you great financial advice, and that advice is he can tell you all the steps he made to get to where the fuck he's at. So
speak publicly in the business space. And that's why, you know, when you follow most of these people, you don't really get good results because they're trying to imply that business itself is a complicated process. And hence, you know, the reason you're failing is because you don't realize how complicated it is and you need to keep navigating this complicated process with them. You never really get any genuine results. The people who actually provide real results are simply the experts who show that it's a simple step-by-step process and it's not that you need to be some sort of genius. A lot of people, including myself, always looked up to people like, you know, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, all these random different individuals who present themselves as some genius. And the nice thing that they do is they make you feel like really good about yourself. Like, oh, I really like this person. He's a genius. Now I can keep being, I can keep going down this path of wanting to be a genius and somehow I'll make a lot of money. I've never found that these people actually gave me real value in real life where I suddenly made a lot of money because I followed in their footsteps. The only people where you can, follow in their footsteps and make a lot of money are the people who actually have businesses or have a way of doing business that you can directly, imitate.
And we say all this coming from personal experience, because both me and Arvid fell into the same trap. For Arvid, he was on the academic extreme. He graduated from UCLA with a degree in math at the age of 19, then he went to study law and became one of the top performing law students there, until one day he realized that he could make a lot more money not being a lawyer and just doing his own thing, which eventually led him to becoming the president of Jordan Belfort's companies, where he eventually learned some of the stuff he talked about today. I also fell into the same trap. Growing up with immigrant parents, I was always the one that got good grades, that prided myself in being academically smart. But when you're academically smart, or in other words, when you're well conditioned to follow orders, well, you're only gonna have one possible outcome. You get a safe job, and you cap your potential for life, just like school intended you to. So that's what I did. I got a safe job that was respectable, that my immigrant parents were proud of, but that safe job also guaranteed that I would never be able to make more than low six figures. Maybe I would eventually make $150,000 a year, maybe $200K if I'm lucky, but anything higher than that would have literally been impossible. 0% probability. It was only after that I got—
I like how 150 and 200K is failure to them.
He's retired.
Failure. Said it was failure, yeah.
It's just a hard cap. It's like if you can make between 50 and 500K, like even if you make 50 to 70 throughout like 5 years, like the potential to make 500 makes it worth it. Mm-hmm. But if you know for sure 100, 150 is where you're going to end up, you don't have that goal to shoot for. I think that's kind of weird.
Okay.
Sick of that job, that I finally decided to put aside my ego, to stop worrying about what my parents thought, and I found that one thing that I could just mindlessly repeat, that was when everything changed for me. And this was all because I learned how to be mindless in the right way. And I say all of this not to brag, but to show you that if you're not society's definition of smart, consider yourself lucky, because you do not want to be. Or if you have fallen into this trap as well, just like me and Arvid, it's never too late to opt out of the system.
Oh, that was such a missed opportunity. I was waiting for it like the whole last half of the video and he didn't do it. Disgusting.
What are you waiting on?
I was waiting for his pitch. Like, and if you really want to make it, I can show you how to do it. Just go to www such and such dot such and such. That's how I was waiting for the sales pitch.
Oh no, he's not that guy.
So,
but that would have been the perfect ending to the video.
Arvin doesn't even work with that Wolf of Wall Street company anymore.
Okay.
And he retired at 26.
How old is he now? 28?
Well, he retired at 26 from... Doesn't say, but he's director of the Shaun White Incorporated.
He retired at 26.
I would say he still probably has a lot of money though.
That's an awesome problem to have, to retire at 26.
But there's not much about him out there, so I'm wondering how legit he really is.
Okay.
He's known as one of the richest YouTubers of Pakistan, according to this guy on Reddit.
Okay.
But in case all the YouTubers want to, out there, no, PewDiePie's net worth is $61 million.
Now, and the other guy's the richest guy in Pakistan. This YouTubing. So he's probably making about 29,000 a year. No, I'm just fucking with him.
And you wanted to censor me.
He makes $17.50 a year. Okay, guys. Bogus.
Fuck him if he can't take a joke. He's got to have a fucking cockatiel. He should be fucking jovial.
I'll tell you what, if I was a millionaire and people was arguing, was making fun of me, I'll laugh along with them.
You would think that, but I've heard a particular guy who's a millionaire. He said when he looked at the comments, he said it can be over 1,000 fucking flattering comments, and he just zero in on the one end.
Well, that was his problem, was reading the comments in the first place, because there's trolls.
Everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna like you.
Yeah. And there are some people that
Who's
might
everybody?
like you, but would still tear you down because they're assholes. Like, it's the internet.
Yeah.
Yep, my favorite thing about the internet.
Because you're fucking toxic.
No, I'm not.
You're fucking toxic, and you're fucking racist.
Whoa, whoa,
Mr. Fife is a fucking no, I'm just playing. Look at Sabius. Sabius looking at me like, where's this going?
He waiting for
Well,
the punchline,
speaking to
like-
our next topic, it's supposed to be what Dr.
Whoa,
Umar.
whoa.
Racism is.
Yeah. But
I-
hey, so basically, everybody on this pod should be all right based on what. Based on,
Yeah, I think I'm-
None
I
of
think
us
I'm-
geniuses.
I'm kind of offended. I mean,
What?
Cobra's out here trying to basically tell the world that my favorite hood's pointy and white.
You know what I mean?
All I hear is criticize, criticize, criticize.
Look at yourself in the mirror, all right?
Wait till I put them. Well, I ain't gonna get into that. I was about to say, wait till I put up that old footage that Sabius got up. Well, we really gonna be fucked then.
How
that's-
bad's that?
Oh my god, you own some of it too. Shit, it's horrible,
You don't want to know. Yeah.
bro.
No, you really don't
It's
know.
fucked up. It's fucked up, and we all were drinking. But anyway, yeah, I think that you know, when they was talking, I was thinking to myself, is that video itself a marketing not scheme, but basically a marketing layout for more people to come to video, because everybody feels average. Not a lot of people feel like a genius. So you will flock to that video because it's flattering to you, right?
Yeah. That's what I said. I was waiting like from halfway through the video to the whole end. I was waiting for the pitch. It seemed like a video designed for a pitch, but there
I
was no
agree.
pitch ever. That's what it seemed like. It felt that way to me.
He
Yeah.
sounds like one hell of a used car salesman.
I mean, but there is a lot of validity to what he was saying. That doesn't make him wrong. It's just
Did you notice that he had peacock hair?
I did not know.
I don't know why. What's this infatuation with his hair?
Well, I'm talking about the Asian guy now. What I'm getting from it is you need to have hair. You need to have hair like a bird to be successful.
I have hair like a bird, a bald eagle.
A bald eagle, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm halfway there, guys. I'm halfway there.
And Sabius is like, he has the hair of a fucking falcon, and Mr. Fife has the hair of a racist fucking hawk flying around dropping N-bombs and F-bombs, and then, you know, me, I have the
I want you to know if someday I go to a job interview and they say, we're not going to hire you because we saw this video.
That would be fucking hilarious.
That would be fucked up.
I'm not gonna lie.
Then you owe me a salary for the rest of
It
the year.
was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
And then I'm gonna say, well, I'm dumb enough to pay it, and then I'm gonna goddamn it out of the view of the camera and shit. Oh shit. That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna do the other
That wouldn't be hilarious.
topic, but I gotta close this one off. Oh, why didn't she say
Tell her you said you hit start.